Apologetics.com is a website run by a couple guys. Somebody turned me on to it this week. They have a podcast, and one of their recent episodes of the podcast was called Why Atheists Never Win. These are some fairly smart guys, and I don't think I'm being overly polemic when I say that they're not nearly as clever as they think they are, because they present flawed arguments. One of the things that really pissed me off was that the guy who hosted the show said, and I'm going to quote this roughly because I don't have it with me, I used to be an atheist. Okay. I believe this guy. I believe he did used to be an atheist. So I'll take his word for it. And he said, but I found atheism wanting. It didn't provide me with any of the answers that I was looking for. And I'll pause there.
Oh, God.
Because I have a very important message for this guy. It's not supposed to.
Right.
Atheism is a lack of belief in God, or if you want to go and push it a little further, it's a belief that there is no God. But it's not a worldview that explains where we come from, why we are. And who says you're entitled to those answers? I know you want those answers. We all do. And that's why some people are out exploring the universe we live in, trying to find out what those answers are, rather than saying, you know what, there's this old book here that says God did it, and that there's a good enough answer for me. Okay. If you have built yourself up, you were an atheist, but you didn't get the answers that you wanted, so you accepted a religion that pretended to give you the answers that you wanted. Congratulations, you are not a rational person. Right. Please don't pretend to be rational. Please don't pretend that well, atheism pretends to have this empiricistic high ground of proof, but in reality, they're just devoid of anything. No, you don't get it. God did it isn't an answer. God has no explanatory power. It can't be demonstrated. Right. It's a non-answer. All it does is ask more questions. It's a panacea. You have questions, these big answers. Why is there something? Why is there anything? Why is there a universe? Why do I exist? How did life begin? Blah, blah, blah. All these big questions. And you're going to answer them with one simple answer that isn't an answer, because it's been specifically designed to plug those gaps and stop you from looking for the answer.
It's like they'll say, you know, God did it. Well, then obviously the question now is how?
Yeah.
Magic. Okay, how does that work?
Yeah.
You keep pushing the thing back with vaguer and vaguer words, you know, I mean.
And then of course, you get to the point where they say, well, we can't explain God. God's a mystery to us, but that's fine. Well, then why can't you just say, I don't have an explanation for the universe right now?
You just say, I don't know, and be honest.
Yeah, and rather than accepting this idea that God is a mystery, which will always remain a mystery, at least until you're dead, isn't it much more intellectually valid? Isn't it much more consistent with reality to say, not we don't know and we can't ever know until some magic man tells us, but to say we don't know right now, but we've got some good ideas and we're working on it, and maybe in the future we'll have better explanations for this. The theistic position, they accuse us of being arrogant, having a selfish, self-centered worldview, and in reality, Christianity and many other religions like it, theism in general, is one of utmost arrogance and utmost self-centered, because they have this notion that they are a special creation. There's this beautiful picture from I think the Hubble telescope of a small pinpoint in the sky where they've found dark matter, a dark matter cloud, hundreds of thousands of galaxies, and yet they think that on this tiny little rock in this solar system of this galaxy, they are the special creation for which the entire universe is, and that they are entitled to answers. And, in fact, that they have the answers due to special revelation.
Right. And what that suggests is that they believe that they cannot be fooled. They believe that they are infallible. Yeah. They can't be wrong.
They don't see it as arrogance because they practice their religion in such a way where the arrogance is downplayed and disguised, and I have nothing against
disguise.
It is because they help other people. That Christianity and other religions do good things. The charities, I applaud them for that. I applaud them for all those great things that they do. You don't need religion to do any of them, and I think that's obvious. But this idea that they can't be fooled, Going back to David Hume for a second, there's a quote which I'll get very, 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 very wrong. But it essentially goes, when someone comes to me and tells me that a man has raised from the dead, I consider to myself whether it be more likely that this man be deceived or attempting to deceive than that the thing actually happened.
Right.
That is epistemology in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's what I most.
How do we go about finding out what's
reasonable? I ran
reasonable?
against that in alt atheism, almost word for word. Guy said, "What happens if you come into a morgue and there's a guy on the slab, and you have testimony? He's been there for 3 days, and you can check his life signs, and there's nothing there. And then a man comes in, touches him, and he comes back to life. What did you see there?" And I go, "Well, I've seen something that I can't explain."
Well, the thing is that wouldn't be conclusive evidence, but it would be very compelling evidence. So please demonstrate that. The truth of the situation isn't that you saw this happen, but somebody told you about somebody who heard about somebody who told you that this happened.
Right.
Don't do 3 times removed hearsay and
compare
it, make an analogy to you witness this yourself.